Hello and welcome to some more Star Citizen. Chris Roberts has responded to a content creator, Terada, and I wanted to talk about what he was talking about there because he alludes to things that are happening for Squadron 42 and Star Citizen and CitizenCon, and it's nice that Chris has responded to someone, but Chris doesn't come out of the box very often. So Terada is a really big French streamer and YouTuber, and he makes a whole range of awesome Star Citizen content, some of the best. He recently posted on the Spectrum forums about quality of life improvements. It was a nice, concise post going over a lot of stuff, and let me read you the sort of blurb of it. Over the last few weeks, we've noticed that CIG seem to be interested in improving players' comfort, quality of life. My community and I have gathered as many interesting ideas as possible that could improve the qual. Let us know if these resonate with you as well. I filtered out the ideas about features that are already being redesigned, maybe Glass Star Map Quantum, for example, so that we can focus on features for which we don't have any information at the moment. This is the work of hundreds of active players, mainly within the French community. By posting on Spectrum, we hope that you would rally us, support these ideas, and add your own new quality of life suggestions. Thank you for your time. And then basically there's a ton of really good quality of life suggestions, from search bars in the key customization menu to displaying the names of your different HOTAS setups and controller devices, to an option to clear the shader cache directly from the launcher. Really nice post, really good as well to start a conversation about quality of life and look at what players want for quality of life, what they've noticed, what they think is needing improvement immediately, what can wait a little bit longer. Community manager Zylo picked up on this thread almost immediately and said awesome post, and many of these are on our priority list already too. I've shared all of these suggestions with the right people on our team. Thanks for this. But then the next day, Chris Roberts turned up. Let's see what he had to say. Hi Terada, I just wanted to thank you for your suggestions for quality of life on Star Citizen. Also your incredibly awesome flying and video capture skills. Whenever I want to show someone the huge range of things you can do in Star Citizen, your low flying or 100 people get together videos on YouTube are part of the links I share. When I started the journey on Star Citizen over 10 years ago, I never imagined such dynamic and beautiful footage showing off both what the technology of Star Citizen can do, and more importantly, what players can do in the huge sandbox we are building. Back to your post, seeing tight, concise, constructive feedback like this is super helpful. I also want you to know that I pay attention to the community's feedback, as well as feedback by various Star Citizen content creators. This year has been an especially difficult one in terms of stability and quality of life due to the rollout of Persistent Entity Streaming, PES, in 3.18 at the beginning of the year. The whole way we tracked and recorded the state of the universe changed dramatically, which also changed the way we handle data in the back end in the cloud. Because of how we record state with Persistent Entity Streaming, we needed to switch to a different kind of back-end database, so we moved from a SQL, relational database, to a graph database. Unfortunately, the graph database we selected, despite being one of the best rated ones and intended for enterprise scale, has major issues at load, causing the database to lock up and all the queries from the game servers to stall out. This happened on the 3.18 launch, where it took us a lot of effort to stabilize, including some engineering on our side, to lessen the load on the database. We thought we had this issue solved, but the most recent version of the database software was a step backwards, and we've had additional lockups at load, which was what happened for periods on Wednesday, just after we launched 3.20, and on Thursday, Friday, and very briefly on Saturday. We rolled back to an older version and disabled some of the features last night that we suspect may be contributing to the instability. Ironically, we think the replication to mirror databases for full redundancy is the culprit to the database lockups. This looks to have stabilized things. The backend database getting into a bad state manifests in multiple ways, to infinitely loading inventory windows, missing items, and degraded game performance. We went with an off-the-shelf enterprise-level database for stability and resistance, as there is already a lot of new tech in Star Citizen, so it's frustrating as the software that should be rock solid is the biggest offender in making Star Citizen's experience even more unreliable. We have the top engineers from the database company working on this, and we are also assessing other databases to switch to if the unreliability of the current solution continues. One way or another, we intend to have this solved in the very near term, and the game coming back to 3.17.x stability levels. We are also very focused on improving quality of life, both annoying bugs that have been around for way too long, and some things that we need to address to make the experience fun and welcoming. Your list is great in this respect, as a lot of your suggestions are on our list too. We did get some quality of life fixes in 3.20, like the quantum travel HUD being lined up properly, but not nearly as much as the team or I would like. We will be working on knocking out bugs and improving quality of life pretty continuously from here on out. There is a lot of great tech and features that we're bringing into Star Citizen from Squadron 42 that will dramatically change the feel and polish of Star Citizen. For instance, a lot of your suggestions in the in-game comfort and readability have been addressed by the changes we made for Squadron 42. The plan has always been to bring this work into Star Citizen. Squadron 42 was just a good way for us to focus and really polish the feel and usability without the pressure of maintaining functionality as we iterated on it for the always live environment of the persistent universe. We now have hit an inflection point in Squadron 42's development that allows us to start bringing this work into Star Citizen in the near future. I'm very excited for CitizenCon, as we will be sharing a lot of these features and more. It will be great in front of a live crowd and spending time with the community in person. It's been 4 years since the last in-person CitizenCon. Right, wow. So, I love the fact that Chris Roberts has turned up and actually given a response. Obviously, Terada, very big content creator, streamer for the French community, big rallying point there. I was certain this post was going to get a response from various devs, but I did not expect Chris Roberts to turn up because he does not come out very often. We used to see Chris all of the time in various shows and letters from the chairman and talking to the community, but as CIG have become larger and more corporate, Chris seems to be doing those letters from the chairman and actually coming to the community less and less. That said, they sort of wheel him out for various special occasions and citizen cons and an occasional letter from the chairman maybe like twice a year. What I really liked in that letter is that he outlines and tells us why they had problems with 3.18 and persistent entity streaming in a reasonable amount of detail, and explains exactly what happened with 3.20's launch, why we had so many sort of problems as it launched. They are also saying, look, we've identified the problem, we know what's going wrong with it, we'll fix it in one way or another, we're just trying to work out which way is the most sensible. I do think it is a shame that the sort of 3.20 patch when it was on the PTU, really great, awesome quality of life patch and sort of a polished patch, but breaks on the servers on live. 3.20.0a has addressed a load of the problems in 3.20 admittedly, and all these other sort of things that Cloud Imperium have done recently have made the persistent universe a load more stable again, but there are still issues, and some players are having lots of issues, other players not so much. Obviously Arena Commander working fantastically, persistent universe sometimes working fantastically. The problem is at certain times of the day and at load. We do know that Squadron 42 has actually made a huge amount of progress and is getting quite near the end of its development cycle, and it's good to hear that they are at an inflection point where they are able to now get more and more of these Squadron 42 more fleshed out features into Star Citizen's persistent universe, which is what a lot of us want. I think a lot of people want to see Squadron 42, but I think there's a huge amount more, a load more players that are in it for Star Citizen's persistent universe over Squadron 42. At CitizenCon, we're going to know a lot more. Obviously, a load of Squadron 42 features are looking to be completed just before CitizenCon, I think between now and the next couple of weeks, at least according to the roadmap at the moment, so obviously that could change. It is the biggest CitizenCon they've ever had. But what do you think about what Chris said? Do you believe that they're going to be able to get 3.20 or the end-of-year patch into a really good level of stability with 3.17.x stability levels, as they said? Do you believe we are at an inflection point? So the start of the Star Citizen boom cycle for features. What do you think we're going to actually see at CitizenCon? And what do you think about Chris Roberts coming out and saying all of this? Whatever your thoughts, I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. NordVPN is amazing and you should buy it. It's so useful, it's easier to tell you what it can't do. NordVPN can't do your taxes. Nord, how much do I owe for VAT? NordVPN can't help you buy more spaceships. Nord, add a terrapin to my shopping cart. NordVPN can't cook for you. No, my cabbages! And NordVPN can't be your girlfriend. can't or won't NordVPN if that is your real name, NordVPN.com/BoredGamer will help you connect to the internet more safely, securely, and anonymously with greater access to the content you want. But can I teach it to love? Links below for the best NordVPN deals around. Every month we have a ship giveaway, and for September, that's for the Drake Corsair, that fantastic exploration ship. Not only will you be able to explore the verse with it, but the ship is perfectly competent at a huge range of gameplay and is a fantastic mission running ship. You can use it for cargo, you can put some vehicles in there. It's reasonably good in a fight, one of the true multi-role, multi-crew ships. To be in for a chance of winning one of those, just comment on any of my videos made during the month. More details down below. Also down below are links to be able to support the channel more. There's the join button, making you one of my elite channel members. You'll get occasional exclusive content. There's also YouTube badges and emotes to show your support. There's also Patreon for those of you that prefer that. We try to mirror the rewards on there as well. But just people liking, subscribing, and sharing these videos goes a long way. A heartfelt thank you to everyone that watched the video. I hope you have a great September, and I'll see you in the verse.